This is the Lit of podcast.
We got double Jason effect today. We got
Jason squared.
Ellison. And
Jason squared.
Pawlowski.
The weight of these double J's in this room, it's heavy.
It's actually 3 J's.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Triple J is huge.
J cubed.
J cubed.
So we got Jamie not sitting on the board tonight. Jamie is sitting over.
Jamie's a guest tonight.
Yeah, Jamie's going to play us some music. Why don't you start us off with the music first?
Okay.
Let's
What do you
start.
What do we want to hear?
Got any requests? What was our other guest want to hear?
Something good. Always something.
Here we
good
go.
about This one.
Let's
I am a man, poet from the know. Rarely do friends come and go. She was a girl so alone, feeling the need to make me a home. I don't know what went on why. Twilight of love and rave, twisting and turning your feelings are burning, you're breaking the girl. She loves you, think you're so clever, but now you must sever, you're breaking the girl. He loves you. Yeah, that's just one little verse.
Jason Ellison.
oh yeah.
Who knows who that was? Oh, come on now.
I know the song.
It's got
but
to sound familiar.
I definitely know the song.
That's it. That's it, baby.
Who was it?
Red Hot Chili Pepper.
Oh, okay.
I'm working on Under the Bridge, but man, that one's if I get that one, that's a lot of chords. It'd probably be the hardest song I've learned up to date. So.
Green Day,
It's been
Nimrod.
a hard day's night. I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day's night. I should be sleeping like a log. When I get them thinking, I find the things that you do make me feel alright. When I'm home, everything's alright, yeah. When I'm home, feeling you hold me tight. All right.
Hell yeah.
What?
Back on track.
Yeah, we'll just
Awesome.
Just edit that out.
yeah, we'll splice
just edit it.
we'll splice it together. It'll be seamless. So how we doing tonight, guys? How's everybody?
Chilling.
Chilling.
Just got through rolling.
Hell
Feeling
yeah.
good.
How did you guys
Feeling
meet?
myself.
Me and Steve.
No, you. I know how you guys met.
Jason.
How you and Jason meet?
We met at Apollo.
Yeah, we met in our
In
jiu-jitsu
our-
class.
yep.
And he was one of the white belts. I was a blue belt at the time.
Yep.
And
You're not hearing him either, right?
I can hear
You
him.
can hear me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But we started. We went to a competition together. I want to say it was a Machado Invitational.
Right.
One of the Winter
We-
Wars.
Yes.
It was the one before that.
Yes.
And we hit it off there, and just kind of started
Had
connecting
some
more,
interesting conversations.
talking. We got more into about music and art and stuff like that.
Flat Earthers.
Not quite.
Just several things that we agreed on and see things, and we're like, oh, okay, this guy's pretty cool.
We should be friends.
We should be friends. That's right.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it
like,
happens. But it's time that makes friends, you know.
Yeah.
You don't just,
So we just
you
kept
don't
training more
decide.
together.
Yeah, that's what made it. I mean, we had a good weekend, but then it was just like, I don't know.
Love at first sight.
Just love at first sight.
Well, then I found out about his artwork, and I had an appreciation for it. And
Oh, yeah.
Love his
eventually
artwork.
set up a
I love
tattoo
it.
appointment, and But I ended up buying a couple.
Yeah,
Well, I got
Jason's
couple of
bought
those
a
paintings.
couple of paintings.
I love that one right there. That one looks like jiu-jitsu guys
Right.
choking each other out.
I really,
Right.
yeah, and no, you guys can't see the one we're talking about, but if you look in some of our previous episodes, it's been.
Yeah, it's about time to change it out.
Yeah, we have a
We
6-foot
got-
cock right there
Yeah,
too.
we do have a 6-foot cock.
You guys can't see that.
They
It's
can
pretty
see
awesome.
It. It's full camera. It's full camera right behind Jason Pawlowski over there, just fucking chilling.
Chilling.
Point over your shoulder. Yeah, the funniest part is the way I met Jason P.
How did you
I
guys
thought it was
meet?
at Winter Wars.
It was at Winter Wars.
Oh yeah, I almost got booed. I was in the bathroom.
I almost got him
So
disqualified.
This is when. Oh, this is Winter Wars before you joined
I'm a
us.
child-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had like 40 minutes to go before I
On
started.
Smooth Comp, like it said, like he had a while to go. Oh yeah, I'm not going.
Were they just behind? Or I mean, they were ahead.
They were
not
ahead.
Behind.
Yeah,
We were
I-
moving
I went
fast.
to the bathroom.
My mat was moving super fast.
Yeah. That is our sponsored map.
Yeah, the one that
Yeah.
didn't have our name on it.
I love
Well, I came back. I got a call that was like, "Oh, your matches." I was like, "Wow, that time jumped." And so
I already had
ran
called him
back.
twice. I already had called him
Oh,
twice.
so on the PA they're calling him or whatever.
Yeah, I was like, hey, call Jason P. I said, I think he went that way. I'm like, because I saw him put on his big, huge headphones.
What are you talking about?
You had headphones, I think.
No, that wasn't me. I had headphones that were big.
I thought they were those massive Beat headphones.
Beats.
Anyway, but go ahead.
So I got back to the mat right when they called my name, and I was like, "Wait, no, I'm right here." And then that's when my first recollection of he was standing
you were getting
there.
ready to DQ him.
They told me, they're like, hey, after the third one, they're like, just DQ him. So I see him.
No strike for
I
you.
think you were on your way back to the mat.
Well, I ended up. I thought they did DQ me, and I went to go talk to my instructor at the time, was Kim, and within when I was doing that, they're like, "Come on back." Either it was you or somebody else like, "Come on back." And it was like, "Oh." So I ran over there, just went right into it after that.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But my adrenaline was up for the wrong reasons. I was like, I was so nervous and like mad at myself. I was like, why didn't I pay attention?
That was the first time I met your dad, too.
And you talked to your
Oh, Gunny.
Yeah, talked my ear off.
But yeah, that was my first. I talked to you after that, like in the lobby for a little bit.
We gotta have.
Do you
part
remember
two.
seeing me at Winter Wars? I was there.
You were,
But
well,
I,
I
didn't.
guess so.
I,
You
didn't,
got the-
I don't.
Oh, no, I don't remember seeing you. Did you
When
look
I
like
met
that?
you, when I met you
but he
the
had
first
longer
time,
hair then.
He had
He
that
looked like a-
beautiful, luscious hair.
He looked like a metalhead.
Oh, you had the hair back then. huh?
looks stupid. Look at this picture.
When did you? When did you?
He thought he looked so good.
You carried your weight.
We all did. There was
Carried your weight differently than
Looked
you.
like Steven Seagal.
there's a
All
period of
crack.
time where
All but Steven and no gall.
All Steven and no gall.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That makes perfect sense.
there was a period of time that I had that whole rockin' hair like you. with
Man,
the-
it's just this receding
Yeah, me
hairline,
too,
man.
for sure.
You?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. to
And the
shave
little
his
bit
head.
of a bald spot I got going on, like I can't do that.
I'm right there,
I
bro.
mean, that just the ending result for that is a comb over. I mean, in the end, that's what that graduates to, and I'm there ain't no way I'm
That's
ever
not,
doing that.
not
Oh,
happening.
hey, just an FYI on Drake. I just saw Drake's profile right there before.
Uh-oh.
you.
Oh,
So Drake
have
got
a
his
Drake
first
update?
negative counseling in the Marine Corps.
Oh, he called me.
oh, we have a
Yeah,
he
Drake
got
He called me
update.
the other day.
Did he tell you about that?
Yeah.
Drake update live.
Yeah, he said
So
Steve's
let's-
mad at me.
Well, of course.
What?
He
And that's
said
all.
Steve's mad at me.
No, I'm not mad at him.
Oh, that's
Not at all.
disappointed.
He was like,
No,
I think
I just
Steve's
told him I
mad at
expect
me.
more.
How many negatives did you have?
I had 2 negative counselings, 1 NJP, and yeah.
For those that
He
don't know,
said they
NJP
think I'm too chill. They
Non-judicial
think I have
punishment.
an attitude because I'm too laid back. I'm too confident. You know, like they're.
I had 1 page 11.
Those that don't know, Jason P was also in the Marine Corps. How many did you have, Jason?
He's like, no,
Zero.
I was a good boy.
I might have had a couple, like
I was
3
trying
or
to
4
find
negative
pictures.
counselings, but it never got written up for
Gotcha.
anything.
They were
I had
more
to write
verbal.
some
Were they
people
more
up.
verbal?
Yeah, it was just all. I mean, I had a staff sergeant at one point. Like I misplaced a cable that was something like some crypto. And like, but it was always in the tent. And they were like, "You better find that." And like, I mean, you get like pulled to the side. I did. I never did anything worth, or that would merit an actual write up.
Yeah. Drake's update was pretty much he did not shave while he was in the field.
God.
And
Oh.
you're supposed to shave in the field.
Oh, so he's messy too.
Unless you
What's
have
that?
shaving chest.
So he's being messy.
He's doing the same things that we had a discussion about when
Right.
When he was here.
and I'm like,
Right.
dude, even though you're on leave, you still have to
Take care of your
act
shit.
according.
Yeah.
You have your
Dress
rules.
right.
Yeah.
Look right.
So, I mean, back when I went on leave, they were all about like you got to wear polo, slacks, or jeans, and you have to be able to tuck in your shirt, and your
So-
belt has to like match.
Do you
your
still have to
line.
shave when you're on leave?
Yeah, you're supposed to shave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
So even if you're out on leave, you're supposed to
Well,
stay.
Yeah, like if you're not leaving your house, then okay, that's fine. It's understandable.
But if you're going
But
out,
you're going
But if you're
public.
going out in public and you're an
Representing.
active duty Marine, even if you're a reservist, still you want to act according.
right?
The Marine Corps order does state that you have to shave.
Gotcha.
But,
Drake.
Yeah, so he messaged me on Instagram. He's like, "Hey, you're gonna be upset with me," and I was like, "What's up, bud?" I was like, "How's training? How's everything?" He's like, "Well, yeah, about that." So we're in the field, and I got my first negative counseling. I'm like, on paper, and he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Fuck,
Oh
man."
my god.
I'm like, "Listen, I'm not mad at you. I want you to understand. Like, you get enough of those, they'll kick you out."
Yeah.
And he's like, "No," he's like, "I learned my lesson. I'm out." Ooh, you were chubby there.
Yeah, man.
I was looking at that picture.
No, the one
No,
above.
the one with you and Amanda.
With your pea coat.
Where was that?
Up. Right there. Left,
Yeah.
left.
Down.
This
Oh, shit.
this one here?
Yeah.
Down one more. Right there in the middle.
Oh, this one right here.
Look at that
That's-
one.
That's when we got engaged. Yeah.
What are you looking for?
That one.
Holy
Don't look like the same guy.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Josh, what
I don't even know who that is.
Who is that guy?
That was when we got
You
engaged.
put you two next to each other, I would rape you.
Yeah, this
in a
was
good way.
This was when I got my first divorce. I gained a lot of weight and money problems, and
Then you started lifting weights.
I got back into lifting weights. Yeah, I gave it up for a while. I just was depressed and
Now look at you, a
typical-
buff baby.
Yeah, typical. Depressed and money issues.
Yeah,
Wife
that's-
left
Right.
me.
Hey, I know how that goes.
My wife left me.
think
My
we all
dog
do.
left me. All that, Country song.
Like every country
right.
song. My achy breaky heart.
We've all been there, right?
You got to sing that Sammy song later. Sammy the Hammy.
Sammy the Hammy.
Later on.
I was gonna say something. I forgot.
How'd you guys like last night?
I
It
liked
was
it.
good.
Was
I
dope,
like
eh?
the ball game.
I like playing those like positional games
Right.
where you have like a set amount of time. It makes you really
Right.
quick.
Hey,
And the
that's
ball
thanks
added
to
a
Matt Reyna.
challenge To the
Yeah.
like my
Shout out to
grip.
Matt Reyna.
Yes, thank you.
He's on top of. He's very detail oriented.
I love the way he
The way he
teaches.
taught. It was
Very
very
good.
good. A lot
Very
of
good instruction.
experience for sure.
I really
What,
enjoyed that class the other morning.
Yeah, that was well worth it.
It was a heck of a way to start
How
your
much
day.
got that guy bench?
Who?
That big
Well,
guy.
He said 6 and change or something.
Well,
like
he
that.
was no. Matt said he was doing 5x5s, 600.
Jesus Christ.
5 reps of 5 at
That's why
600.
I shouldn't have
His
rolled with him 'cause my
deadlift-
hamstring's still bad.
His deadlift is like 1150 or something.
but that's
Like,
okay.
whoa.
It's
insane.
fine.
No thanks.
That dude's only a white belt,
I don't want to be his knees.
Listen,
but that's a white belt.
That's why they got
that
different
can
weight
bench
categories and
exactly.
I could not
belts
move
and
my leg.
age.
A white belt,
When we
his
did that,
size is basically
There's-
a purple or a brown. You
I
know
mean,
what I mean?
it's
Like
the
just,
boy- there's
just
a-
sheer strength is gonna
His
put-
pressure.
The Boyd belt system's a real thing.
Listen, when I was going over a Kimura from the position that Matt was teaching, and the guy was on the bottom was just like, "How can I do something like you can't?
You can't.
You can't grip his arm. It's too big."
Yeah, he was like both of my arms
Yes.
together. If not, no, he's bigger.
Yeah, dude. He is. He's
not
got
that
at least
big.
like 30-inch guns, dude.
Yeah.
Tank.
Sell
think-
those munitions to Ukraine. They could use it. Give his arms over there. You know what I'm saying?
When did you start jiu-jitsu, Jason? Like, I know you've been in martial arts
so
forever, but when did
Brazilian
you?
Jiu-Jitsu?
Yeah.
That started January 2016. And I was 205 pounds.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you weigh now?
177.
Oh, wow.
Today. Yeah. So I'd gotten out of the Marine Corps, and so I'd ate a bunch of food and just kind of let myself go just a little bit. And then I was like, I can't do this. And I started training jiu-jitsu. And shortly after that, I started training stand-up again. But the jiu-jitsu journey with a belt and a gi started
Yeah.
then. But I had trained at some, if you want to count general jujutsu, like Japanese and
Yeah.
modern styles. That goes back, like, I was in Okinawa. I trained for about 8 months or 9 months in Daiturio Aiki Jiu-Jitsu. And then before that, I trained mixed martial arts, like MMA, just punch, kick, shoot, out in Stillwater when I was in college.
Oh, okay.
But the bulk of it was from 2016 to now, like the consistent training.
What was, you just wanted a new martial art? What was the reason?
Well, I just wanted to get into grappling more and wanted to hone that skill of the ground. I mean, I'd always been into martial arts and was just okay at different aspects of it, but having been around, like, for instance, like my father, who was into jiu-jitsu, and it's not so much just the grappling portion, but like it's pure self-defense applications.
Yeah.
And then he'd been training and knew about the Gracies. I grew up learning about the Gracies and Gracie fight challenges. I mean, he had like the first 4 UFCs on VHS.
Yeah.
And he actually went to the fourth UFC. It was in Tulsa.
He went to the fourth one?
Yeah, it was here in Tulsa.
UFC 4 was in Tulsa? I did not know that.
believe
I
it was
didn't
at
know
the
that either.
convention
I mean, I've
center.
watched
There's
it.
when,
I didn't realize it
Dan
was in Tulsa.
Severn,
Yeah,
he
absolutely,
almost
I've watched
crushes
it,
Hoist
yeah.
and then loses.
I didn't realize it was in Tulsa. That's awesome.
But shortly after that, or on that time frame, where my dad was training, they had some fighters that were go fight in the Vale Tudo over in Japan. So where Hickson ended up winning those before, and then eventually Pride kind of replaced the Vale Tudo championships. But
And that's covered on that what's the documentary called?
The Choke.
The Choke.
So
yeah. That's a good one. Have you seen that?
Yeah, that's a really good one.
The section is filmed here in town.
You've seen it, Steve? The Choke, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the classic MMA.
Yeah,
characters.
for
So
sure.
I'd been around it.
Then they made a movie called Red Belt.
Yeah,
knockoff?
I remember that movie. It was okay. They had that like
think
guy
I've
with his
seen
arm
that.
tied and whatever.
It's called Red Belt?
Yeah, it's an early jiu-jitsu movie.
Pull it up.
Not early.
There's
but-
some jiu-jitsu stars in there.
2008, is that it?
Yeah,
There it is.
Wikipedia.
because it came out around the time.
Let's watch the trailer.
I'm just
Yeah, Randy Couture's in it.
Oh wow.
Let's watch the trailer. Let's see this nonsense.
It was okay,
I mean, there is some jiu-jitsu in it. Like it's.
but I think Dan Anasanto's in it
I
too.
think it's going to be a great fight. I don't know why everybody's not coming
Randy.
to this fight.
Pay-per-view's pulling back on the promotion. We're not selling tickets.
We have a deal or we don't have a deal.
We need a gimmick.
Tim
What good's a
Allen.
deal if nobody's making any money?
Tie him up.
Think he has a handicap? No. The other guy has a handicap if he cannot control himself. Breathe. You know the escape. Breathe. There's always an escape.
Your check bounced.
My check?
The martial arts supply. I can't make the rent. You have no cash.
There's one rule. Put the other guy down.
Just calm down. I'm calm, man. I'm calm. You calm down. Just want to have a drink.
Why'd you come out alone? You looking for trouble?
What happened?
Bad boy jumped on a movie star.
What about you?
Nobody knows who I am.
A man distracted is a man defeated.
It's an invitation from Chef Frank.
You train people to fight.
I train people to prevail.
Tell them your training method.
The fighters before a fight.
3 marbles.
Each fighter has a 2 in 3 odds of choosing the white marble. White marble's a pass.
What if he picks the black marble?
Black marble's a handicap.
Who imposes the terms of the battle will impose the terms of the peace.
Each fighter will pick a marble. Should he pick a white marble, he'll be given a pass.
You draw the black marble, you're either going to have one arm tied to your body or potentially both arms tied to your body.
You stole my idea.
You can't copyright an idea.
He has a document of his training regime that he's used for many years.
You want to make some money? Fight on the undercard. It's worth $250,000.
Competition is weakening.
What about the fighter's family? What do they eat?
The fight is fixed.
We pick who gets the white marble. Who gets the pass tonight? You.
I'm ending the charade.
Machado.
I need to talk to you.
Allen.
You think you're going to the ring?
Steve Machado
You're
was
going
in it?
nowhere, Mike. You're going nowhere.
There
Name
is
that
no
Machado.
situation you could not
Who's that?
escape.
Which Machado brother is that?
You know the escape.
Hegan? No.
It's
Wow.
Rolls?
I've never seen it.
No,
Looks
that's
pretty
crazy.
Oh God. I get them all confused.
It looked pretty decent. I mean, those are the highlights of the movie, I'm sure, but it looked pretty good.
I don't
So.
remember his name. I've seen him.
You know it?
I'm not saying nothing. I'm laughing at what you said. All that's crazy. Hey, help him out and click on the cast.
Hey.
He said, All's Gracie. I said, which Machado is it? He says,
I'm just.
All's Gracie. I can't make this shit up.
Hey, man.
We gotta start a jiu-jitsu history class apparently.
Hey, man, I'll
Wait,
just blame it on the
Luciano
ADD.
Souza's in it? No way. It's towards the bottom. I don't know why he's on the bottom. He should be like one of the main
Because he's not a
characters.
movie star. He only had
That 1 second.
He's too real.
He only had the probably half credit or whatever. You know what I mean?
Jean-Jacques was in it, but I didn't see him in that.
I don't see.
No,
I don't see
that was
no
Jean-Jacques. Yeah,
Machados.
it was Jean-Jacques. Go back
Jean-Jacques.
up.
You see him?
Up top. Up. Keep going. Stop. Right there.
There
Oh
it
yeah,
is.
right there. They don't even have a picture for him. That's how much
Oh,
they.
he just looks younger,
That's how much they
that's why.
disrespect
Super
him.
young.
Yeah, he's just younger.
Look
Yeah,
at
he's
that.
super skinny and a lot older now.
No picture for him.
He works out a lot.
Mike Goldberg.
They don't even have a picture.
Hey,
for him.
either way, it was a decent movie.
He was a producer on it though, so he helped make it. Pretty
He
cool.
probably
They
choreographed.
highlighted
He
it,
did most of the
too.
choreographing, most likely.
Let's
Yeah.
face it. There's not a lot of good jiu-jitsu movies, so if it's decent, it's probably good
I
enough
did
to
like
watch.
that. I mean, it's not really a jiu-jitsu. It's a MMA movie, but Warrior with Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Those are good.
Well, I'll tell you what was terrible was jiu-jitsu.
That was so low budget.
Yeah,
Is that
God.
Nicolas Cage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was low budget.
That
as
was
hell.
so terrible.
It looked like it was
You saw
made
that,
by
Jason?
the independent film.
You saw that? Oh my God.
Hey, I'd be.
I saw Under Siege.
That's a better quality movie.
That's way
than that,
better.
right?
That's way better.
Steven
That has
Seagal.
Tommy Lee
They
Jones
spent-
in
I
it.
used to love Steven
They
Seagal.
spent some money on
I
that.
still do.
And
then-
Steven Seagal.
That is O-Sensei Steven Seagal.
What-
sir.
yeah, that's right,
Put
that
some
is.
respect on
What's
that name.
his what's his specialty? He's
He's an Aikido master.
Aikido,
You know
yeah,
what?
yeah.
He knows karate and
yeah.
He knows
Wing
a
Chun.
lot.
He's a legit martial artist.
He is a legit martial artist. It might
His
not
belly
be the
says
best.
otherwise.
It might not be the best
I
martial
mean,
art, but
I respect him and his skill.
I already used to beat the
He
hell out
should
of all
work out more.
the
He should take
Oh,
his
his,
stuntmen.
help.
oh, his ukes. Yeah, he used to
Yeah,
beat the
like-
life out of him.
like he was doing that shit for real.
you know what?
He was doing
In
it
the
for real
movies.
on the offset of Lawman.
I just wish
he
he
was
wasn't
beating up all
hanging
the
out.
girls.
All
I just wish he was hanging out with Putin. He was like living in Russia and hanging out with Putin. I'm like, that's.
I mean, Putin is a 6th-degree black belt in judo.
What is your opinion on that?
What?
What's your real opinion on that?
He's good. He's good at judo.
Is he really good at judo?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you afraid to get poisoned?
No.
Okay.
I've seen him like do randori with people,
Okay.
and I've seen them jump for him, but I'm sure they don't want their house blown up.
So
So.
that's how good he is. He won't just throw you into the earth.
Yeah.
He'll blow your house up with his judo.
Yeah.
There's
But,
a big thing
I
between.
saw him go up to a kid. There's a video of it. You could clip it. It's probably on there. Putin shows judo, and Putin goes up to a kid and shows like a Tayatoshi or something like that.
When you see video of people doing
to
jujitsu
videos.
and martial arts, often they're just drilling, and you watch the video and you think, "Oh man, whoa!" But to do that in a live raw, like,
Let's look at YouTube.
completely different.
They probably took it down. It's probably not on there.
No, I thought I just saw it
They
too.
don't want to. Oh, did you?
Like all those guys online doing the Aikido where they're like throwing. And
Yeah, that's choreographed.
It's the most.
I
That's all it
mean,
is.
I feel
It's
like
part of kata.
I feel like
that's why.
Aikido works better after you've learned and studied jiu-jitsu or judo for a while, and then you add that on at the back end.
Right,
'Cause you
right.
better understand what those movements are.
Right.
He's in a
achieve.
suit. He's in a suit and walks up to the kid towards the corner of the mat. And they probably did take it down.
Hey, he just won a re-election too.
Yeah, 6 more years.
Unanimous
that's legit?
decision.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
You think that's
Don't
legit?
kill me.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
kill
legit.
us.
His opposition's
It's definitely
dead.
legit.
You think he's legit?
Yeah, he's legit.
Like you think everybody really voted for him?
No, he threatened everybody.
Right.
That guy's
I will kill you.
That guy's modern KGB.
I mean, they just killed that one guy.
Yeah.
What was his name? I should know.
Alexei Navalny?
Yeah, there you
Listen,
go.
this is not the Todd Atkins show. This
No,
is-
I
we're not doing
mean,
conspiracies
that guy
on here.
died in prison.
We love you, Todd.
If he dies, he
If
dies.
he dies, he dies. I
Yeah,
don't-
they're not
Is
gonna
it
show
that?
it.
They took it
Oh,
down,
is it
man.
that
No,
one?
he's in a suit.
Putin practiced judo?
What's Putin's walk style? This is
Vladimir
ridiculous.
Putin, judo expert.
I like that.
Welcome to Putin. You die.
Yeah, let's not get into that all that on here. We'll all be houses will be bombed and shit.
Make sure you take all this off.
UFC 4 was in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Leave it.
So I know that
I'm not suicidal.
you're not.
We're
I'm not- yeah.
controversial tonight.
Hey, so Jason, so how long you been training?
I'm going on 4 years, baby.
And I know we told this story in the first one, but what got you started in the jiu-jitsu?
Well, my son initially begged me to come to class with him, and so after about 6 weeks of that, I was like, okay, I'll do it. All right.
Then you started beating him up.
And yeah, it was. Then I was hooked immediately, first class, and I was like, this is pretty cool. All right.
Isn't it weird how like
It wasn't the same cliche story that everybody was watching UFC and you decided to do jiu-jitsu?
Well, I'd grown up watching. My initial want to do jiu-jitsu come long before I ever went into a class. I from watching Gracie, UFC number 1.
Say his name. Say his name.
Horse Gracie.
Horse. And
I was just so impressed by how 175-pound guy can beat up a 250. I was like, I got to learn how to do this. But that was in. I let my fears get the best of me when I was young, and all the way up until several years ago, to be honest with you. I just didn't. I would run away from confrontation and didn't want to face fears and face my fears. And so even though I wanted to do jiu-jitsu, I was too scared. And then after, like I said, 6 weeks of my son going and doing it, and he was okay. I mean, he was come back and was like, yeah, dude, you got to do this. So I bit the bullet, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
I'm glad you started.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure. Me too.
I love being here.
You know what's impressive about UFC 1 is Hoist or Horse.
Horse.
Hoist.
I know it's Hoist. Fought 3 times that night.
Yeah.
3
I want
times.
more of that. I'd like to see
how do we get that to
another
come back?
tournament back
Yeah.
to where,
Like-
if you win one, then you got to fight,
Yeah.
at least maybe 2 or 3 fights
I
to
guess it's
win it
just
all.
not-
Like
Like at the UFC
in the first
level, I guess they can't really do that. It's not beneficial to how they make money.
Yeah, now it's not. Man.
Right.
Yeah.
But in that scenario, you never know who's going to
Actually,
win.
You know what
just
bugs
never
me?
do.
Ben has done that with kickboxing.
They have done that.
And MMA.
You know what bugs me about people with the UFC? Is that when fans of the MMA and the UFC, they're all these ones that are like, oh, when it goes to the ground, they start booing. And like, they're like, oh, the UFC, this, like, it's so boring. It's like, do you realize that that's what made the UFC? Like, jiu-jitsu, the ground is what made
Right.
it, right? Like, that's the reason it became what it is.
And most fights all end on the ground.
And I understand.
In the street,
I mean, I understand what people are saying. That it's not as exciting as the punches and the kicking and the being in knockout. I get it. Like, I understand that. But, like, to have this total disregard for, like, when the fight goes to the ground and the booing, it drives me so crazy. And maybe it's because I'm in not to sound like a conceited watcher, but maybe because of the higher maybe because of, like, when you have a higher fight IQ in terms of watching,
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. So when you're watching it and you have a higher fighter IQ and understand, so you can
What they're doing.
Yeah. It's
Before
not
I did jiu-jitsu, it was more boring watching jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You just wanna
Before
see
I actually knew
fist
what they were
flying.
doing. Now I can see and know what they're doing. I've been in those positions before. I know, I know that's terrible.
It turns you into a critic.
Right.
Well, yeah, I think you're just able to watch it and see, and Joe Rogan does an amazing job of choreographing it and talking about it, right? But
Except when he's talking about judo.
well, I mean,
everything is an Uchimata to him. Oh, wow, look at that Uchimata. You're like, wait, that's Harayo Goshi.
yeah,
What the hell?
I mean, he doesn't know the names. You cannot, he's definitely not versed in judo. That is very evident.
We still love you,
But-
Joe.
We still
For
love
sure.
you, Joe.
His jujitsu knowledge is
100%.
Yeah, and I think that for the average fan, he does a really good job. He's the best at doing that when it gets to the ground.
And I love his excitement in it.
It's the best.
Yeah,
like-
that's
it's-
absolutely.
Those are the best.
I mean, right.
Impressions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really great, and we got that on video.
He's so
He's your
good.
Daniel Cormier.
Huh?
He's your Daniel Cormier.
Yeah. Did you see that?
When
Hey, man.
when Rogan and Cormier are there, that's the
It's
best.
fun.
That's
Right.
the best.
It's a fun night to
when one
watch.
of the two of them's not there, it's not as interesting to
Right.
watch. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. And, watching people's reactions, I love watching those videos, and I know Steve does too, because I always send them to him. And ones where people are scaring people, when people get scared. I love seeing people's reactions. So when they get scared, just the fright, the look on their face. And I don't know what it is about it, but
listen,
it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Have you seen that one that's going around right now where they told them to follow the car on the TV, and they're standing up next to the TV? Have you seen this one?
No, I've not seen it.
I'm gonna find it. You guys keep talking, I'll find it.
But if you care about the characters, like he truly, then I've heard people say often about Brandon Schwab that his comedy, he's just not that funny. But his reactions to things
great,
are hilarious.
Yeah.
So that's what you just fall in love with the character. Like me personally, I do. It's not always about the content that they bring, but their heart and their energy and that kind of stuff.
Theo Von.
Yeah, Theo. Oh man. I love Theo. Let's talk about Theo Von.
Listen, the way I got started in jiu-jitsu is I fell in love with watching Mark Kerr and Mark Coleman. Yeah. And they beat the living crap out of each other.
Those are beasts.
It was a slugfest.
Big dudes.
It was a slugfest. Like these guys were just
right.
Oh, no, not even like this. Like they weren't even this lasted about 1 minute into the fight. And then it just became, single double, single double, because they were both wrestlers, collegiate, amazing, and they were unfortunately they were both. One Mark Kerr was he was very he was into the drugs, and it was rough. And then I watched the biography, the documentary. I'm sorry, of Mark Kerr when he went to rehab. He talked about his old fights, and I fell in love with it. I was just like, dude, this is sick. Then I did my first amateur fight, and I never did MMA again. I lost. I got, I freaking, I got a leg kick to my face, and George Lockhart, who's the UFC dietitian right now, one of the biggest.
Your coach?
He was my coach. He was a corporal at the time. And we were on the base MMA team called Team Gideon. And I fought at 170 or something like that. I can't remember. And Lee Swicker from Pennsylvania. This kid just had nasty leg kicks. And I did one of these like he just had me right in the hamstring, just kicking me. I had a leg welt the size of your hammy. And I went to block because he kicked me in my face. And I came out swinging, but the referee was like, fighter not fighting. I have a picture of me doing a Superman across the ring and catching him. It was a good fight, but the last 30 seconds is where a lot of people were really upset with the early referee stoppage because I went to cover up, and in an amateur fight out in Virginia, they were just like, hey, listen, you weren't fighting long enough. And I'm like, what? It was literally a 10-second cover-up. Like, I was trying to...
Right. Not get punched.
Get to my mindset because he kicked me and I just got angry and I started trying to throw him and shit. But it was fun. It was a good night.
This is the one.
Oh yeah.
This is horrible.
That's not good for them. Why would you do that with them?
Poor little babies.
Oh my god, this is fucking hilarious.
The little boy was
she didn't
like,
even see the first reaction.
No, she didn't get it.
She would have lost it.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That one's been going. It's an older one, but it's been going around again. Also, like, it's fucking
So
funny.
let's pull up Mark Kerr versus Mark Coleman.
Hey, he's doing better now.
Huh?
Mark Coleman's
Coleman
better now. He's
from
back home.
The Fire.
Yeah, he's
Versus who?
He's
Are we looking
a
for?
warrior, man.
Mark Kerr versus Mark Coleman.
Yep, right there.
That's probably it.
Yeah, he ran into a fire.
That's it right there.
That
dude.
guy has
save
Save his parents.
his parents.
And then I don't think he could make it for the dog, for the cat, whatever.
This is rock.
Yeah, but he saved his parents, man, and he's doing good.
That's
There's Hammer. I think
he's a hero.
Dude, they said in his documentary, he would right before a match, he would shoot up. He would shoot up steroids.
Steroids?
Yeah, just so he can't feel it.
testosterone
Yeah.
build,
Oh yeah, dude.
Is this?
He had no.
When did
sense.
they let headbutts?
That's
This
in
is
the
Pride.
90s.
This is Pride. So this
That's
is
early Pride.
They always. Well, no, actually, it says UFC right there.
No, the one before it was Pride.
Yeah, Pride was
That's
Wild
the 90s,
West.
so they
He did
Wild
Pride.
West.
He did K1. He did it all.
He headbutted that guy with his head on the mat. Like,
Yeah.
I'm surprised it wasn't over.
Well, that was the no holds
One
barred
shot.
era.
It's NHB.
Look at that! Oh my God.
That would suck.
I've seen several fights
Ribs,
ended
broke his ribs.
by headbutt live in person when I was in high school. And
He was literally an all around martial artist.
Look at that.
yeah.
Wrestled, did that double.
Shoots in.
I want to say he was OSU or OU.
Oh my God.
Or no, am I? I don't know. Hold on, please.
Yeah, don't
Look at
kick me
this.
there.
Double leg takedown, shoots in. Boom. Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Look at that. He just carried him.
Just
Like he just,
completely more dominant.
yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
He just carried him like across the ring. Like
I want to see him go against Mark Coleman. That's the best fight.
How come all the badasses back in the day wore those shorts
That was the style.
with the eyes on the back of the...
That was just it, man.
Oh, that was
Brand.
Bad Boy.
Right.
What's it called? What's his name?
Frank wore those, didn't he?
Frank wore him.
Yeah, Shamrock. Yeah.
What's the Huntington Beach Bad Boy? What's his name?
Oh, Tito.
Look at him.
Tito wears them.
Tito
He
wore-
still wears them.
Yep.
See, he couldn't be controlled. That was one of the things that why he ended up going to rehab. He just was just a mess.
Monster.
He won ADCC 4 times.
Wow. I mean,
Good gosh. I mean, you get in someone's
Beautiful.
guard
He
and
says
you can just
beautiful
headbutt their
headbutt.
gut.
beautiful headbutt. That's what that's. Is there such thing as a like?
I'm surprised
I don't know
they don't
what
let
you-
people do
I don't
that
know
in
what
the
you do
UFC.
against that guy.
You don't do anything. Like it's like,
Unless you're that big.
That head crank.
look at him.
God.
Look at him. He is. He's just
He's
squishing.
tapping.
He's just squishing the guy. Like he just rolled him up into a fucking ball and squished him.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think Coleman is the Ohio. I don't know, man. I know he fought from Syracuse. He wrestled out of Syracuse.
He was really good at getting the ball.
Is Pride still around?
No, UFC.
The big thing it is one.
Yeah, one champion.
One championship. There's
They don't
one.
let
There's Kaizen.
they don't let headbutts, do they?
Nobody allows headbutts anymore. But it's all now. It's
Lithway, but that's like Burmese. Or yeah, Lithway.
Pride went. They went away, and when did they leave? Let's see. Pride history. That's not what I wanted.
Pride was
They're from 1997 all the way to. Wait, Sakuraba? Did that say Sakuraba?
founded in 97 and
Defunct in 2000,
2007.
So 10 years they were around.
Damn, it's crazy.
I think UFC bought them. Yeah.
Yeah, Ryzen
Yeah.
Fighting Federation.
Oh, it does. Did you like K1?
They basically merged, I guess,
Love
and then they
K1.
took it
K1 was
away.
fun to watch.
What were you saying about the? Here, you were saying something. Sakurai or something you were saying?
Sakuraba.
Oh yeah, Sakuraba, but that wasn't the guy. That was somebody else.
Oh, gotcha. I remember watching UFC 1 in like '98 on DVD. It was probably VHS back then. It might have been DVD. I can't remember. But I was hooked then, and then
Hoist won number 1.
Hoist won
and he
number
won
1.
number 2.
He did not win number 3.
He did not
There's
win
some guy
two,
that
yeah.
did like I want to say Japanese Jiu-Jitsu or Ninjutsu won that one. He hurt his. I think he hurt his shoulder or something. I had to pull out.
This
Steve
guy.
Jenham from Canada.
Yeah,
TKO.
Ninjutsu.
Ninjutsu.
He beat the guy.
And then he Well, he was
TKO
in the
127.
number 4 too, I want to say.
Minute and 27 in. Yeah, Hoist wasn't even in.
So Harold Howard beat Hoist in
No, he beat,
in the
I think,
semi-final.
Hoist beat him, but then couldn't.
I think he
Couldn't
pulled out.
continue.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
he pulled
right.
out. It says right here, threw in the towel before the fight. So Harold Howard was given the bye.
That's crazy.
So he never fought.
Hey, man, that's what I was saying earlier. Like these style tournaments, you don't know. Like with your first match, if your first match is crazy tough, you're gassed for those next. You're probably not going to make the final. You know, it all depends on,
Depends on your conditioning
and your conditioning and how tough your matches are. Actually, you know,
it's all about too, like how your body recovers. Man.
recovers. Yeah, because how long did they go between those matches? Like, is it just straight up?
Yeah, man.
Did they give them an hour or two
I
before
think they
they
had
to
like
fight?
a few minutes after
Right.
that was it.
I don't remember.
No, like if you win one, you're gonna go backstage and then they'll do the next match.
The next match, as soon as that other's matches,
they'll
when
finish-
it comes around to yours,
They'll
it's ready
finish
to
out the
go.
bracket.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Just kind of like in the tournaments we do, but even faster.
I do want to say congratulations to you and Josh on what's been happening lately with the school.
Man,
thank you, man. Thank you.
Dude, this place
we have been
is
trying really hard, man. Trying real hard, and we've been at it. We think we broke the formula.
Man, yeah, we had a crazy class
And
tonight.
there's been
A lot of white
a lot
belts.
of people in the strike.
A lot of new people coming.
What do you guys?
New kids too.
What do you guys think that is? What do you think What do you attribute it to?
I would say a little bit of word of mouth and good. I would say good reputation, like good people spreading the word.
Yeah.
At least like from my end, and I share things. I talk to people, but I've started seeing more just occasionally ads pop up, which helps put it in people's minds.
Yeah, we've definitely been doing a lot more ads.
Right.
What do you see, like when you walk in the doors? Like what is it about this place that draws you to keep coming?
Well, aside from, I put it into two things. Like I like aesthetics and like an atmosphere, an ambiance, if you will. But it's the people. So like the students are pretty.
Would you say culture?
Yeah, like the culture, the overall atmosphere and culture is what kept me coming back, and I loved hanging out with the students and training with them and growing as a martial artist with them, watching others grow, and of course, I mean, I like Josh a lot, and you're the instructor, and I appreciate your skill set a lot, your mixed background of various grappling styles,
awesome.
and striking. But as far as like, I just like the way it looks too, like. I like art, and I like because art is expression of oneself or somebody's mind, and they're putting it out there. Whether we are martial artists, and then there's actual art like paintings all over the place.
The hard work,
which hits you right in the face with like, and they. That's when I said it creates like an ambiance that I like to train in. That makes me feel like I'm like I could make a montage training session or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's.
For me, the idea was like, so the couple of the walls were black when we moved in, but the idea in my head was like the old school. I have a bodybuilding background, so like the old school rugged bodybuilding dungeon. Like that was in my head. It was like when you go there to work. You go there to put it. You know what I mean? And then like there's that camaraderie between like you look at those videos of Arnold and all those guys, right? And there's like the camaraderie, but they were there to work, and it's this dungeon. It's this rugged place.
It's raw.
Yeah, it's
grunge.
raw. Yeah, and so that was. And then me and Steve just gave Jason the canvas. So this is your fucking canvas, man. Make it.
Do your thing.
Absolutely.
What about you? Why do you keep coming to Kohishin?
Man, I guess I've touched on a couple of times in the last podcast and earlier. I lived so many years letting my fears get the best of me, and running from all my problems and running from hard times and pain, and I've come to realize after a near-death experience in 2020, and then when I started jiu-jitsu and
Whitewater rafting.
Right, when I started jiu-jitsu and got a taste of it, it's like what was I so scared of? Why was I so scared of getting, of being humbled basically, or getting in a fight. Who knows who might win? I might win, they might win, as far as I might have to tap, they might have to tap, whatever. But at the end of the day, man, it's just done so much for me that I know when I'm in this building that I'm doing right for myself. I'm doing right for me. And, that's at the core, that's what keeps me. But outside of that, the people, the camaraderie, it's like a family here. Especially, and that doesn't just happen overnight. Like that takes time. Jiu-jitsu is something that, like I said, I've been doing this for almost 4 years. It's taking 4 years to get to this point. You don't just develop friendships and stuff overnight. So it's kind of like when you go to school and you see the same people at school. You didn't choose for those people to come to school, but then after years of going to school with them, they're your friends. They're the people that you trust, that you share things with, and some days may be better than others, and that's just the way life is. And that's what keeps me coming back, man.
I love it, man.
Beautiful. I like that.
What keeps you coming back?
Me?
Mm-hmm. You've been doing this for so long. Like, what keeps you going,
man,
day in, day out?
There's. I have personal reasons. I have some really deep personal reasons. One, the haters motivate me, man. Right? They say haters gonna hate and all that good stuff.
You don't like somebody telling you can't do something.
Never. Never. Listen, you can tell me right now you're not gonna be here in 5 years. Josh, we're going on our 5th year.
We're gonna be here.
5th year.
That's right.
I've literally had people tell me, hey, listen, man, this is tough, man. Or, hey, I don't like you. This is not for you. Guess what? This is us.
There's
We're
one
in
thing
Tulsa. We ain't going nowhere.
There's one thing I can say, and I've said it in multiple posts. There's one thing I'm guaranteeing is that cohesion's here to stay. We're not going anywhere.
Yep.
And there's certain people around that don't like us, whatever. This place isn't for them. That's fine.
Each their own.
I'm
right?
going to be honest with you. I'm not worried about them people.
Yeah.
It's just
we've had people, with negative. We have quite a lot of people with amazing positivity. I mean, look at our reviews. We don't force people to write reviews. We don't.
Right.
Like those things speak for themselves. It's amazing.
Yeah, look, we just had one the other day. You guys can go read it.
That one right there was what did it for me. I sent it to him. I screenshotted it to him. I'm like, yeah, read this. It like, hey, shout out Trevor. I don't know, Tyler. I'm sorry, Tyler, dude.
I got to go read it.
Wow, like I didn't even know that about him.
Yeah,
I didn't even know. Like he lost 50 pounds in 2 months. Yeah. Then he was sober from substances. Didn't know that.
Wow.
And that's the one thing that we pride ourselves in this academy. As long as you're not a felon, right? We do background checks. We check everybody's history, and we make sure that we protect our students as well, just like other academies do. But the one thing we don't do is, if you had, rough past, who the frick are we to fucking tell you to go away?
And isn't that what martial arts is about?
Yeah.
Second chances. And
Absolutely.
giving, as long as you're not, there's obviously a line, right? Like there's a certain line,
right?
But everybody deserves a second chance, man.
Knowledge journey where you get to know yourself better. It helps you grow as a person. And I find it to be an active meditative practice. It draws you right into that moment where you don't have to worry about anything in your life as you de-stress.
Yeah,
I've said this.
Mental and physical resilience.
Yeah, I've said this in a post before. I have wronged many people in the past.
Me too.
I have a list of people that I wish that right now that they were around so I could apologize and, make things different. But I know that what I'm doing right now is making up for the wrongs that I did. You know what I mean? And I like I said, I've grown dramatically as a black belt, as a student, as an instructor. In the Marine Corps, my Marine Corps career wasn't 100% highlights and the best things in the world. I got negative counselings. I got in trouble. But at the same time, I learned a lot. you know, my firefighting career, I mean, you guys can see like has skyrocketed like quick too. You know what I mean?
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. You know, I'm in a position right now where I can turn a department around and mirror
Make
other
a difference.
departments. Yeah, make a big difference in a community that I don't even live in.
Right.
I don't even live in this community.
And you're doing it all volunteer.
Yeah. So, you know, that's one thing. Like, this is what I do. You know, there's no strategy or what'd you say? You said it the other day. I'm doing something to you. That one person thinks that I'm possibly duping you.
Oh, duping. Yeah.
Right? We're not.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, duping.
You know, there's no agenda. The agenda is this: teach, spread, and have a good time.
The agenda.
That's it.
The agenda is rise by lifting others.
That's it.
There you
and
go.
that's been the thing, right? That and so like you guys kind of hit it. Like when we asked you both, you both, you know, the culture, and that's been Steve and I's thing, like
Since day one.
from the beginning, and that's the we're gonna lift other people up. You know,
Right.
it's like that's what we're gonna do, and that's the atmosphere. We're not gonna turn people away because they, you know, slept on a bench
Or
and they
because
were
they're
drug
fat,
addicts,
or because they're fat and they walk in my door,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Hey, I'm here to do jujitsu." Oh, sweet. Hey, listen, you want to try it out for a free day for a day for free? Get on the mat, try it out. This is Jason. This is Jason. They'll take you to the back, get you a gi. Hey, go have fun. Introduce yourself. We will never ever judge somebody that walks through these doors. Now, pedophile,
there's a line.
domestic,
right?
felon,
There's a line.
Don't
all
wanna
that
roll
stuff.
with
That's a different story.
There's definitely a line.
You'll get a roll.
You know, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. There's a line.
Roll your ass out the door.
But there's a line, but the line is obviously criminal in nature, not just, you know, not just you fucked up in the past. You know, you did drugs in the past, or you were drug abused. You know what I mean? Like, you
Or
know,
better
there's-
yet, this. How about you know how many people come here from another academy?
Yeah.
Right.
Why do we care?
Yeah. I don't care.
I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
And I'm not going to ask either. Like, listen, hey, cool, whatever. It is what it is. That's your business. I will never, ever be like, hey, you know what? You kind of don't belong here because you were at that. Hell no. That's not who we are.
No, it's not.
Come here. Come
mean,
train.
you know-
If you like it, great. We hope you fit in.
Yeah.
But we're going to let you know, too, like, hey, listen, you got to fix a couple things. But we're not going to
I
judge
mean, these
you.
two are a prime example, right? Like they came from other academies and you
Right.
know, trained other
I
places.
think
and
one of his biggest thank yous, and it was like an indicator to me I was in the right place, was when my dad started coming around and you accepted him for who he was. I mean, it's a little bit easier for you because you're a Marine, and like he's an old school Marine guy, but he was on here before, so some of his stories out there. If you want to go listen to it, he's on this podcast. But it was cool to see him get back on the mat and like
Want to be here.
actually want to try and train and like get back in shape, because he had been wanting to lose a little bit of weight and just basically not let himself get too old too quick. I mean, he's late 60s, but if you stay active, I mean, you can
That's
still
right.
do stuff later in life. So he tries not to push it too hard and be smart about it, just because he's more likely to pull something, which happened. But that was really cool to see him get back on the mat and like get back into jiu-jitsu, because he's the first person to introduce me to jiu-jitsu. Just a little more Japanese style, but still. So that was cool. Now we can actually train together. So and we get along with everybody. So I think it's a
we
pretty
love
beautiful
having
thing.
him here. I mean,
Absolutely. He's a huge help here.
Have
too.
y'all ever heard the story about the principal and the balloons?
I don't think.
Nope, but we're about to.
Right.
About to. Let's hear it.
Right. I heard this story before I ever realized the theme of the podcast and knew kind of what you guys' deal with. We rise through lifting others. Yeah. But the story goes, the principal told all the kids in the school to write their names on a blue. Every one of them blew up a balloon and wrote their name on the balloon, and they had to throw the balloon out in the hallway. And there's like 1,000 kids in the school, right? They threw their balloons out in the hallway, and the principal said, "All right, you got 5 minutes to find your balloon. Go out in the hallway and find your balloon with your signature on it." Within 5 minutes, nobody found their balloon. And then he said, all right, now I want you to take the balloon that's in your hand right now and the signature that's on that balloon, go take that to that person. Within 5 minutes, everybody had gotten their balloons back. And basically the moral to the story was that balloon represents your happiness. And in order to find your happiness, you got to help somebody else find theirs.
Their balloon. I think you told me this while you were tattooing.
Right. And so, you know, that story stuck with me. I heard it several years ago, and I've been on a journey to do that myself. You know, before ever coming here, before doing the podcast or anything, like, you know, I struggled myself in being extremely selfish by giving all of my time to everybody and I thought I was doing it back then, but that's not what that is. I wasn't taking care of myself. You have to love yourself first. You have to fill your cup so you can even pour into someone else's, because you cannot fill someone else's cup if yours is empty. And so I spent so many years not filling my own cup first. I've always loved giving to people and doing for other people, but I did it selfishly. Back in the day, because I just gave to everybody all the time. I don't do that no more. But I really do enjoy the times that I do get to genuinely give to someone else, and get, whether it's my time or my art or whatever it is that I can do to help other people. And that really, it feels really good being there.
You definitely have to. You have to have yourself figured out first before you can start taking care of other people, for sure. You know,
that was one of my things. That was one of my things that I messed up with in life, even still till probably about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Like I was so focused on helping people, and doing for others
for selfish reasons. Because you want.
I think when we first met, Steve, you were kind of that way. Like you were always doing it, but it was, you know what I mean. Like there was a lot of stuff in your life that needed to be dealt with.
Bad. Yeah. Right. Right.
And I had so many people like, hey, Steve, like slow down a little bit, and I'm like, no, fuck that. Like, let's do this. I'm gonna help you.
I guarantee you, there's a lot of people listening, and anybody that is listening that can relate. This is a human issue. You know, everybody goes through this.
Yeah. And the number one thing my number one downfall was accepting help. Still to this day, I suffer with it.
Right.
Still to this day,
You're a little better.
I'm a little better, but it's hard. He's probably the one that I will. John? Yeah, Josh. I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot I'm talking to people. They don't know who I'm talking to here. But Josh is the one that I know that no matter what, I can go to and he'll listen 1,000%. Besides Jason right here, I know I've spoken to you plenty of times, but before you guys came along, like that's the only person that I would ever open myself up to. Also Ray, one of our former students too. He had a men's group. We would go every Thursday or Wednesday, I think it was, at night, and it would be after class, and I would pour everything out, and it was great, man. Like being able to have somebody, and I think everybody should have a partner like that, accountability partner.
Right.
I think that is huge. Jason over here is my somewhat. He says he's horrible, but he's getting better.
I'm getting better. The better. Like the more I fill my cup. You know, I'm just working these days on filling my cup.
I've watched you grown quite substantially.
Yes.
I've seen you grow too, yeah.
As a human being.
Just sitting here and having a conversation with y'all was something. I mean, if you'll listen to my first podcast, it is.
Which is something that he's been wanting to do for a long time, is have his own podcast.
Right.
But guess what? He's part of it now.
Right,
so
right. My dreams are coming true. And, you know, I owe a lot of that to you guys, man. You guys have shown me the way. And, you know, that's...
No, we have not showed you the way. We showed you a way.
A way.
I think what it is we all need a community. We have to have a tribe. That's
village.
So we have to
it takes a village, right?
Yes. So you have to have a good community in King Solomon, in the Bible, talks about this, iron sharpens iron. And you need that, especially as men. Mm-hmm. We need purpose, we need drive, we should be good leaders in our lives, whatever our story is, our communities, our families. Whatever we're doing, we should be the best at it, and it takes strong-minded and strong people around us. So that's a value for me as a Marine. I come out of the Marine Corps. I need a purpose in life, and this can give me a sense of drive, and also mind, body, spirit. I find, like I said earlier, it's an active meditation practice to me. Helps me out a lot mentally and physically.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the other my one other downfall, and I'll leave it with that on my story is I was big on not letting the dust settle.
Yeah, that's definitely you've grown just since we've been business partners. You've grown
And
a lot.
man,
in that, for
listen,
sure.
Josh has told me so many times, like, Steve, don't worry about it, bro. Don't. What is that going to do to you tomorrow? Nothing. Good.
Yeah, I had a
Good.
I had a post
I
that I
love
made
it.
out there about that. About like just we don't focus on that. Like we don't worry about what other people, other schools, other businesses, whatever they are. We're not worried about that. We're gonna worry about here cohesion. How can we be better than we were today? And that's I think that's the big thing. And that was one of my big. You guys are talking about like being able to open up and talk. Like that was one of my things with this whole podcast, which is
Right.
that was my hope, is that by telling people stories, we can start having more conversations and more people. You know what I mean? Like then
Development.
Yeah.
Progress,
Several years ago, man, when I did all this art and taught myself how to play the guitar, it's because I had all this stuff inside me, this is dying to get out, and I didn't feel like I had a voice. Anytime I tried to talk to people, I didn't have the confidence to carry myself and to do it the right way. And so it came out in other ways through the art. There was just there's no keeping your emotion. You can keep your emotions bottled up so long, but then
yeah, for sure,
they're going to come out eventually. And sometimes you might not like the way they come out.
Got a question for you, Josh. What is it about cohesion that kept you coming before you became an owner?
The vision, really. Like I bought into the vision early. Like the mentality of first. I mean, in the beginning. I mean, and it's changed a little bit, but in the beginning, the hard training for me was one of the. It was like the nonstop. Like and it hasn't changed for the bad, but like back in like we talked about it earlier, and like this the nonstop nature.
He just called me soft.
No, not at all. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just back. It was different. It was a little different back then, and there was a smaller group of people that there was 10 of us. There wasn't very many of us.
And you guys were getting used to it.
and coming from this powerlifting, bodybuilding background to where I was when I was in the gym, like I'm the type of person in the gym. I don't text. I don't take pictures. Like even my wife knows. Like when I'm at the gym, I'm probably not going to respond. Usually my phone's in my gym bag. I got my earpods in. I don't socialize with people. Like I'm, it's an hour and a half. I'm there to do work. And so like when I came here, there was that same mentality. And then, like your vision, your generosity, your vision, that I bought into that from the very start. And, of course, at the time there was some confliction at the time because there was somebody else around that, obviously didn't see that vision.
Yeah.
And obviously that's where I come in because he's no longer around. And,
And not to take away from that person.
No, not at all.
That person just wasn't in it 100%. And that's okay. You know what I mean? Like, that's perfectly fine. You're going to get people where you do business with or you're friends with, and you're like, man, I guess he just doesn't see what I see. And there's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
And look, I had a business partner, that I helped start a business before and before this. And we didn't see we didn't have the same vision, right? Like of what could be with that, and so this just doesn't always work out. I don't have any animosity towards that person, and he's a great person, and it is what it is. Sometimes it just doesn't. You got to have the same vision, you got to have the same mentalities if you're going to be business partners, especially in a business like this where you
got to be flexible.
Yeah, So
I heard something about that today, talking about a truly strong mental person is flexible. That's how you can really tell the difference between someone that is got some real issues going on, that they're not as flexible. And same thing for infant jiu-jitsu.
I think
sword would flex too. A good
right.
katana, it have a flex.
I think that's me 100%. You know, like I've told
Things are going to happen.
Yeah, I've told
How
that
do you handle
I've talked about that on the podcast before. How like for me, you know, I've never really struggled with depression. So you know, like I've said it before, like the American white picket fence dream, like that's me, right? You know what I mean? Like I don't have that. You know, I obviously have had problems, and you know, I think you both know about them and stuff, but for the most part, my life's been pretty simple, right? I've been successful. I've been, you know, financially successful, you know, and all that stuff. So, but it's like you said, being flexible under, you know, being able to flex, pivot. So one of the things growing up that my dad said a lot was flex, pivot, overcome, right? And I think I made a post on Facebook a while about
You three guys were trained by the government. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't. I had to bounce around through this world a lot to get to kind of where we're all at.
Yeah, for
these days.
But yeah, I mean that's a big thing for, you know, flexing, pivoting, overcoming. Those are all,
It's
you know.
like being like water, being fluid.
Yeah.
Like flowing, trying to stay in a state of like a flow state.
Yeah.
In life, I mean, you can't do that all the time, but you can strive to it through hard training and a good drive in life, I would say.
And it's like the same, like that's what helps me on the boat, like, you know, understanding, like, especially when you have an emergency on the boat, right? You can't focus one problem, right? You got 3,000 alarms going off, right? You have to prioritize them, but you also have to be able to flex and understand that the problem that's the number one priority right now might not in 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 3 minutes might not be the number one priority, right?
Right, because you got to fix something else in order to fix that.
Yeah, like prime example, we blacked out one time, right? And it started out as just a blackout, right? So we were working the problem of the blackout. Well, when the emergency generators kicked on and the vessel rebooted, and you know, rebooted because that's basically what happens. It takes over, the computers do it. It's all automated. For some reason, the oil lube pumps did not start. So the engine started, the oil lube started. So we thought we were, you know, while we were, you know, managing our, you know, emergency management, trying to figure out what happened, the generator's running, we have the lights back on. Well, unbeknownst to us, those generators were running without oil. And so we're working the problem of the blackout, trying to figure out what happened. Well, now our alarms start going off that there's a fire in the engine room, and then we blacked out again. So the blackout's not the most important. Even though we have no instruments telling us that there's a fire in the engine room anymore because we're blacked out for a second time, we know there's a fire in the engine room. So now we know that blackout's not the number one priority.
Right.
We know there's a fire. So you have to be able to pivot, right? You have to understand that even though 10 minutes ago that blackout was the most important, right? Because we had no power, we were blacked out. Hey, why did we black out?
Things change.
Yeah. Things change. You have to pivot. You have to flex. You have to understand that. So, adaptability.
Adapt and overcome.
Yep. Work the problem. Adapt, overcome.
That's where I'm at right now.
Run it to ground.
I mean, I told you guys I was going to get my tattooing license, and I set out today on a mission. I'm doing the first step, was getting my driver's license, and then bam, immediately hit with he meant to say getting it renewed. Getting it renewed, yeah. Get my license renewed. And I mean, hit with the, instance that happened in 2019 that I got to pay $50 and go do this, a few things to get that taken, so like just a stumble in the road. Right. And like, to be honest with you, man, I mean, the old me would have literally probably quit. Yeah, dude. It was just been devastated and ruined my whole day. But, I mean,
gotta flex.
I've
worked the problem,
right? And I owe that. I owe it. It probably sounds cliche. It probably sounds, stupid. But I mean, I owe all that to jiu-jitsu, because that's what I do on the daily in jiu-jitsu is solve problems constantly, just one right after another.
That's all a roll is, right?
And that's all it is.
Hey, this guy's done this. How do I get out of this? That's a problem.
And
right?
I've gotten better. And I mean, I sucked at it. I've always sucked at it, and I knew it. And I still suck at it, but I suck less than I ever have today. Guarantee it.
That's a good attitude.
Good. Well,
You
I think
suck, you suck lesser than yesterday.
I think that's a great spot to end it. Why don't you take us out with
So you
another
want to
song?
play another song?
Yeah,
Get
let's
it.
take us out with a song. You got the guitar here, we might as well.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna do a Beatles song.
Oh hell yeah!
My Lord, my sweet Lord, I really wanna see you. I really wanna be with you. I really wanna see you, Lord, but it takes so long, my Lord, my sweet Lord, my Lord. I really wanna know you. I really wanna show you. I really wanna show you, Lord, but it won't take long, my Lord, my sweet Lord, my Lord. I really wanna see you. I really wanna see you. I really wanna see you, Lord. I really wanna see you, Lord, but it takes so long, my Lord, my sweet Lord, my Lord.
Getting better.
Getting better. I still struggle. I hit a man. All those bar chords are like. Anybody that knows how to play guitar can tell you that's probably some of the toughest chords.
Bar
to play
chords
right there.
are-
Bars.
Yeah.
So, hey, Beatles were, they were talented musicians.
Shout out to
Shout
our
out to the
sponsors, Monkey Tape. Who else we got? Redcon?
Redcon 1. We got
Jitzilla.
Jitzilla Kimonos.
The new one.
DJ Mackie.
That's
I
it.
think everyone in here is an ambassador. I'm sponsored.
Let's train fight.
Huh?
Lift Train.
Live,
Fight.
Train, Fight.
Right.
I mean, we
And,
got so
and
much.
Spot on Plumbing.
Spot on plumbing.
Spot on Plumbing with Brandon Brown.
That's right.
If you're into 918 and you are seeking plumbing, anything of that sort, make sure you get with Brandon Brown and Katie Brown of Spot on Plumbing.
Hell yeah.
Let's just say thank you.
Yep. Thank you guys for having us.
Oh no,
Appreciate it. Thank you guys for being
coming.
on here.
It's,
Double J.
It's been
Triple J and one
Triple
S.
J, yeah. Triple J, 1S. That's the
Goodness gracious.
J cubed and 1S tonight.
One ass.
Yeah. Well, thanks guys for coming out. Thanks guys for doing it, and thank you guys for
Thank our listeners.
training here. Thank you guys for listening.
Right.
And
Right.
thank you guys for being friends.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Hey,
Please
I know
do.
that guy.
Hey.
I know that guy.
Hey.
All right, guys. You guys have a good night.
Good night.
Yes, sir.